Hello guys, welcome back, and in this module we are going to consider how to handle error, basically error handling techniques. And in this lesson specifically we are going to start with form request. So now when I go to the user or the product controller, currently the way we are validating data is doing this. We are validating data inside the store directly, and there is a more advanced way to validate data which is recommended for data validation, and that is what I'm going to use. And there are a couple of reasons why I want us to use the form request. Your code becomes cleaner, your code becomes easily to debug and many things. So I'm going to use that. So to use form request, you need to have a request for that method. So I'm going to say PHP artisan, I'm going to make request, and this request is going to be the request for user store request. So this will be used to handle the request for storing user. So I'll say user store request. So this will create a file inside the request folder inside the HTTP. So the request is created. So when I go now inside our HTTP, we have a request file, and inside here we have down here inside the role we have a blank array. So what I'm going to do is that I'll go inside the store for the user. I'm going to copy this validation. I'm going inside the user store request, and I'm going to paste this guy here. I'm going just to say now like this, like this, like this, just like this, and then we are good. So now I've moved the validation here, and now on the user controller, I can use that request by saying I want to use user store request like that. And then now I can delete this request. And then now on the create guy here, on this create method, what I can do now, this request now can return validated data. And then instead of passing this array like this, I can now just say request, and then I can say validated. That is because there is a validated method which returns the validated data, and then I can delete this like that. So we have only two lines of code, and then I can do the same for the update. So I'll do this, I'll go here now, I'll say user, I'll say update request, this. So we have our update request, and because that is similar to the user store request, I'm going just now to copy this guy here. I'm going inside updated request, scroll down here, I'll paste this guy here, and we need also to say this to be true, this authorized. This means that is the user authorized to use this validation? Yes, so you need to say on top here, you need to say true. That will authorize the user. So I'll go inside controller again, and now here inside here I can just say request. This should be user updated request. This should be request like this. I'll delete this now, we don't need this. And on the update I can just now call request and call the validated method like this. So that will return the validated data, and then I can delete that. So that is it for the user, and we are good. And then I need also now to create for the product. Let me just do this now quite fast. So I just say product like this, create this. So this is created. I'll create for the product store like this, say product store like this. And now the product store request has been created. So I'll move, I'll go inside the product controller. I'll copy the validation here very fast. Copy this, go inside our request, product store, inside our array here. I'm going to paste this here. I'm going to remove this. Then I'm going to say this is true. Scroll down, I'll copy this array here. I'll go to the product update, scroll down, I'll paste this guy here. I'll set this to true. Like that, I'll go to the product controller. I'll remove the store. Here I'll say product store request. Then I'll remove this. Say request. Say validated. Like that one. I'll remove this here like that. I can format this like that. Go on the update. I'll say this use product updated request. I'll go here, remove this to validate data. I'll go here, I'll say request, say validated, like that one. I'll delete this line, I'll delete this, and we are good. So our code is now much structured and much cleaner than before. And that is it, guys, for this lesson. I hope you have understood now to use request to validate your data. You just create a form request, make sure on top here is true, and then you pass the validated data or the validation on the rules guide, and then you can be able to call it on your controller the way you want, and then just use validated, which will return the validated data.